Bitcoin ordinals have sent transaction volume on the networks for Litecoin and Dogecoin absolutely surging the last 3 weeks. It's crazy what's going on with ordinals and how much volume they're driving through these additional token launches. Welcome back to the Blockhash podcast channel. Let's talk crypto. Be sure to also check out our sponsor, Pika Crypto, and how they are revolutionizing the intersection between gaming and Web3 NFTs and blockchain. Make sure to check out our Patreon as well if you want to get crypto market analysis Monday through Friday. Go check it all out, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. All right, cool. So let's talk about this. What's going on? So ordinals have been, not just sending Bitcoin through the roof in terms of a surge in activity in the network, but they're also pushing Litecoin and Doge like crazy. We already did a video on Bitcoin BRC 20. We did a video on Dogecoin DRC 20, and now we're going to talk about it a little bit more broadly now that we're a few weeks into the madness. Look at this chart. It's absolutely crazy the last couple of weeks what has happened on the networks. I'd like to see this translate into price movement. I'm sure you guys would too. It's crazy how much it's clogging up these blockchains. All right, let's read through this real quick. So what began with developer Casey Road Armor, that sounds cool. Roadhouse, creating the Ordinals protocol to inscribe text and imagery on the blockchain. This is a guy that did this initially, the developer. On the Bitcoin network has now made its way to Litecoin and Dogecoin, sending transaction volume on those chains surging for the better part of a month so far. So on the 18th of May, Dogecoin reached a new transaction volume record of 1.2 million transactions in a single 24-hour period. Similarly, Litecoin reached its highest ever daily transaction volume with 584,000 transactions. Jesus. Ordinals first arrived on Litecoin after synonymous Twitter user Indigo Nakamoto offered 5 Litecoin worth approximately $500 at the time to anyone who could port the Ordinals protocol to the Litecoin network. Well, look at that. So that's what happens. So 8 days later, on February 19th, software engineer Anthony Guerrera succeeded and launched the Litecoin Ordinals protocol. In a similar way, Dogecoin enthusiasts copied this Ordinals protocol to create the same functionality on Dogecoin, choosing to name the new protocol Doginals. I haven't heard that one before, Doginals. That's going in the tags for the video. However, what really drove network activity on Litecoin and Dogecoin to new heights was the later introduction of the respective LRC 20 and DRC 20 token standards in early May, which allowed users to create and issue entirely new meme coins on the two networks. The monumental influx of activity on Litecoin and Doge came around the same time that the Ordinals inscription on the Bitcoin network went into overdrive, with a record 400,000 daily inscriptions on May 10th. Look at this chart, guys. It's crazy. Since mid-April, it's exploded in terms of daily transcriptions. It's wild. The uptick in Bitcoin Ordinals inscriptions can be directly attributed to the introduction of the BRC20 token standard, obviously, which has seen more than 24,000 new tokens minted on the Bitcoin blockchain. So what this boils down to is this good or is this bad for the blockchain? So we've gotten things like Pepe, for example, which is surged in popularity as a new meme coin on Bitcoin's BRC20 standard. And we're going to see that continue. We're going to see the same thing continue for Doge and Litecoin. The problem is, the long-term viability of a coin like Pepe is not well suited to Bitcoin. Why? Because it doesn't have the full smart contract functionality there. It's going to be very difficult to take a token like that and build an entire ecosystem around it, other than, using it as a temporary pump and dump. I don't think these things are going to last very long. I think there's a place for ordinals to inscribe text and imagery. I think that's very important to do. But don't expect these coins to become full-blown ecosystems like Dogecoin has or like Shiba, because they're built on a blockchain that's predicated on launching smart contracts, right? And that lends utility and other potential aspects and applications that can be applied to it. Pepe coin is going to die out. It's not going to be as dominant as Dogecoin or Sheepcoin ever was or will be. That's my opinion. Now, Dogecoin has its own standard. Pepe is not going to have its own standard. There's a limit to where these things can go in terms of development. I do think that it is clogging up the blockchain with garbage, but I think it's temporary. And I think this is important in terms of innovation. You need to learn if these things work out, what can they become? What can we do with Bitcoin other than transact with it? Can we inscribe messages? Can we create a messenger through this? Can we share images, maybe video one day? What are the limits to what we can do with the Bitcoin blockchain? That's important for people as a payment method. Maybe you want to send payments, but also you want to send a screenshot of your receipt. Maybe you want to send payments, but you also want to send a message memo so that you can remember what you spent your Bitcoin on for tax purposes or for your business, for accounting purposes. There's a lot of potential applications here. So it's very early days. People are going to experiment with the silliest things, and that is how every technology goes. But I do think this will pan out to be something very good, and I like that it is, playing out on Litecoin and Doge because it gives a little extra value to what can be done in the future. So that's just my take, my spiel on what I think about what's going on with Ordinals, with BRC20, with DRC20, LRC20 Litecoins. Did they say what they call the Litecoin standard? Dogenals, LRC20. Yeah, LRC20. BRC20, LRC20, and DRC20 so far. There will be more, I bet. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's what I think is happening. Be sure to like the video. Share this with someone that is very curious to how ordinals work and what's going on with BRC, LRC, and DRC20 tokens. Comment your thoughts down below. If you think this is a really good thing, if you think this is a really bad thing, is this good for development? Is this, bad for adoption? Let me know what you think. I want to know your opinion, as well as subscribe to the channel. Please support the channel by subscribing if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much for being a subscriber. It means the world to me. All right, guys, that's it for today. We will talk tomorrow. You'll see me tomorrow, and we'll cover some more cool stuff. All right. Cheers.